From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, May the 6th, 2020. A rocket was fired at southern Israel from Gaza last night. The projectile landed in an open area of the Eshkol region. It was the first fired from Gaza at Israel in over a month. No damage or injury was reported. In response, the IDF said Israeli tanks fired on several Hamas military installations in Gaza. Unconfirmed reports today that U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo will visit Israel for one day next week. Hebrew media said Pompeo will meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Blue and White Party leader Benny Gantz. Ynet said the Secretary of State's visit will focus on the new unity government between the two Israeli leaders and on West Bank possible annexation, according to the U.S. peace plan. Again, the visit has not been confirmed by the U.S. or by Israel. U.S. Ambassador to Israel, meanwhile, David Friedman weighed in on several issues of the Trump peace plan, including annexation, which he said was up to Israel whether it wanted to go ahead with the move. In an interview with the Jerusalem Post, Friedman said Netanyahu needs to reach out to Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas in order to negotiate based on the establishment of a Palestinian state in 70% of the West Bank and Israel annexing the other 30%, which Friedman said includes all settlements and all of the Jordan Valley. Yisrael Hayom reported Friedman said that when the mapping process is over, when the Israeli government agrees to freeze building in the same parts of Area C that aren't designated for the application of sovereignty, and when the Prime Minister agrees to negotiate with the Palestinians on the basis of the Trump plan, and he already agreed to this on the first day, we'll recognize Israel's sovereignty in areas that, according to the plan, will be a part of it. The mapping process, by the way, is being worked on by a U.S.-Israeli committee. Abbas has rejected the ambassador's comments today. Spokesman Nabil Abu Radene said the Palestinian people will thwart all plots and will not allow such an annexation move to pass without taking decisive steps against it, as confirmed by Abbas. Abbas has warned of canceling all of its agreements with Israel if annexation goes ahead. And Democratic presidential hopeful Joe Biden weighed in on the issue of annexation and other U.S. policy relating to Israel, telling the JTA a priority now for the cause of Israeli-Palestinian peace should be resuming our dialogue with the Palestinians and pressing Israel not to take actions that make a two-state solution impossible. If elected president, Biden said he would reopen the U.S. consulate in East Jerusalem, find a way to reopen the PLO's diplomatic mission in Washington, and resume economic and security assistance efforts to the Palestinians. A campaign spokesman noted to JTA Biden's past calls to the Palestinians as well, that they should end incitement and recognize the legitimacy of Israel as a Jewish state. Well, 2 Israeli hospitals have made Newsweek's list of the best hospitals in the world. Tel Aviv's Sourasky Medical Center Ichilov Hospital came in at number 34 on the list. And for the second year in a row, Sheba Medical Center in Ramat Gan ranked in the top 10, moving up one notch from number 10 last year to number 9 this year. 3 U.S. hospitals topped the list, with Mass General in third place, the Cleveland Clinic in second, and the Mayo Clinic in the number 1 spot. The Jewish United Fund in Chicago has allotted $26 million to help area residents of all faiths dealing with the coronavirus pandemic. The money will be used for emergency financial aid for housing, food, medical care, and other essentials for individuals and families, and for increasing staffing, trauma counseling, and personal protective equipment for hospital workers. And the Jewish Federation of Greater Philadelphia announced $7.3 million in unrestricted grants for over 30 organizations in the area plus an additional $2.5 million for organizations in Israel to help them deal with the pandemic. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, May the 6th at 7 o'clock. It's episode 2 of the award-winning Israeli drama A Touch Away with English subtitles. At 8, it's a discussion of how progressive Zionism reflects the values that are the basis of the U.S.-Israel relationship with Rabbi Noah Tzvi Farkas, Rami Hod, and Andrea Beth Damsky, and Dan Granot from the AIPAC National Policy Conference this year. At 9 tonight, Mark Golub sits down with Rabbi Bert Vysotsky, who explains why he is a member of the rabbinic cabinet of J Street. At 10:30, it's the film Wrestling Jerusalem in the spotlight on New Jewish Cinema. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, Israeli attorney and activist Nitzana Darshan-Leitner returns to JBS to discuss her court case in Jerusalem seeking to freeze Palestinian funds used to compensate Israeli victims of terrorist attacks during the Second Intifada. That's with Shachar Azani tonight at 6:30. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, May the 6th, 2020. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy. Stay well.